everyone, Melissa Crook here, design team member for Bello's Designs. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this card here. It features Echo and Drew in a forest scene. On Facebook, on our Lavinia group, Bello's Designs Lounge, retailer of Lavinia stamps, is one of our Facebook groups, and I posted a question to the group members of which stamps that you would like to see used for demonstrations and excuse me, to have some more inspiration. So I have chose the Echo and Drew, and I will show you how to do this. So let's get started with the supplies needed. For the stamps, we're going to use Echo and Drew, which are LAV 641, the Fir Cone branch, LAV 580, the Fairy Fir Tree 2 large, LAV 477, the Fairy Fir Tree 2 small, LAV 492S, and the Fairy Fir Tree LAV 489S. This is the smaller one. We're using the new Cedar LAV 759 and this stamp from the Flower Collections LAV 764. For VersaFine Clair inks, we're going to use Nocturne, Pinecone, Monarch, Twilight, Verdant, and Morning Mist. Going to use Dark Denim from the Elements inks. In the Distress Oxides, I'm using Speckled Egg, Squeezed Lemonade, Tumbled Glass, and Dusty Concord. We'll be using a stamp platform and an acrylic block both. For other tools and supplies, I'm going to use some pan pastel in titanium white with the Sofft brush. I have a yellow gel pen, a white gel pen, a Lavinia stencil brush, a blending tool, adhesive, and a piece of copy paper. You'll also need your water bottle and a heat tool. Excuse me. For the card itself, I have a piece of cardstock that was an 8.5 by 11. I've trimmed down to 10 by 7 and scored it in the middle. I'm using a piece of black paper for a mat that is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and a piece of multifarious card that I've cut to 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. And I think that is it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I'll find my water bottle. Okay, to get started with the background, we're going to use the Distress Oxides on our water bottle and heat tool. we're going to do the smush method. So I am going to record all of this, but probably in editing I will speed this up quite a bit just because it's a lot of drying. So you do want to, I'm going to start with the squeezed lemonade. Smush that down on our glass. Add quite a bit of water until it starts to move, and I will do this with all the inks. And then we're going to place your multifarious card just randomly all over the page. Okay, and then we will pick that leftover up, let this dry, and I'm going to dry it with my heat tool, and then I'll move on to each of the colors. I'm going to probably do 2 or 3 layers of several of the colors, but I just want to show you, explain to you what I'm doing for now. Okay, so I'm going to dry this off. Okay, so now I have my card, my background, in my stamping platform, and we're going to start with the owls. So I'm going to first start with this one that's looking towards you, and I don't know which one's which, so either Echo or Drew. And I'm finding a place that's a little lighter. So I'm going to put him about there. Oops. Okay. And then ink up in the VersaFine Clair. VersaFine Clair, Nocturne. Okay, so completely inked up. I'll give that just a second to soak in. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. Finding a bit of light space. And inking this owl up in the Nocturne VersaFine Clair as well. So after you've gotten your owl stamped, then I like to fill in around that. And I'm going to have this owl sitting on the branch. So I take it, and of course you could use your acetate, that would be easier, but you can do it with your stamp as well. And just position so the owl's foot is under, or going to land on the branch. I'm going to ink this up in the VersaFine Clair Pinecone. Okay, line that back up. Okay, and since we have that out, I'm just going to go ahead and continue on. I'm going to keep my stamp on my platform, but I'm going to switch over to my acrylic block. Just, it's easier for me to, for my video to just do it on there. I can just move things around. It's less time consuming. Also, this base works really well because it has the foam under it, so you don't have to use a stack of copy paper or anything. So now I'm just going to fill in a bit with the Pinecone, and I'm going to do some first and some second generation stamping. So this time, second generation, I'm just going to fill them in. Oops. And a little bit right there. Okay, and now we're going to move on to our cedar branch. Cedar. I'm going to ink that up in the Verdant. And we'll do some both first and second generation. And I'm just picking some spaces that have some that are going to overlap, but some that are just not got a lot going on. This is a pretty fine stamp, so it fits in. The lines of it fit in between the pine cones pretty nice. Do one more up here. So just very random. I'll fill it in. Looks good. Okay. And now we will stamp our trees. I'm going to start with the largest tree, and I'm going to have it so it goes all the way from the top of the card down and just over. I'm going to ink this first one up in the Nocturne. Check. Okay. And now we're going to move on to the small fairy fir tree 2. And I'm going to go slightly high. And we're going to ink this one up in the Monarch. Okay, and I'm also going to use some second generations of this one in just various levels. I'll put one there. And that'll be good. And now we're going to move on to the fairy fir tree small. So this is just the regular one. And I'm going to go back to my stamping block just because I'm going to add in several. I'm going to do a few in the Monarch, and then I will do a few in the Morning Mist as well. I'm going to do all of these in second generations. And I'm also going to grab my piece of torn copy paper that I can use for a mask, because I don't want it to appear like it's behind the owl, not in front of. Back up. And mostly I'm just trying to mask that off. I'm going to do a few different areas of the card, and now I'm going to move on to the Morning Mist. Clean that up real quick. And we're just going to fill in the tops of the tree line here. And even though I'm stamping over these, you don't see it. And I'll just do one right there. And some of the tops. Okay, and now we're done with that, so I'm going to move that to the side. This has to load. Okay, so now we're going to add in some grounding. And if your card gets misshapen, just bend it back into place. So I want to have sort of a hill coming under. So I'm going to have it about right there. But I'm going to do this opposite because I'm going to blend it down. Okay, so here I'm going to use the dark denim Elements inks and a blending sponge. And line that back up right underneath his talons. And in a circular motion, go along the base of that card. Okay, and then I'm going to just go around the very bottom. And I'm going to do another layer in the back, very lightly. I'll just pull that down to make the ground appear that it is going back into the forest a bit. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our last stamp, which is from the flower collection. Oops. Okay, and I'm just going to use my block. I'm going to stamp up in Twilight, and we're just going to fill in the bottom. So what I like to do is just pick a side, start at one angle, and I'm going to alternate every stamp between a first, second generation, and we're going to do a second generation. And so building up lots of layers. And turning my stamp slightly as I fill it in. And then I'm going to just hit the tops. as well. Okay. And now we're going to add a little mist. So we're going to do that with our pan pastel and the Sofft brush. Just take a little bit, pretty even, and I just blend it right on my mat. And then I'm just going to slowly drag and blend. So don't take a lot, just a little bit. I'll get that lid back on there. And I'm going to color their eyes in with the yellow gel pen. I'm going to add some quick highlights with my white. And I just get that going. Do this a little at a time. Do one line and then drag it in so the ink stays wet. It'll move better. Okay, and because I have some pastel that I got on this owl, I'm going to just take a little piece of my rag and I'm just going to very lightly damp that down. And maybe just blend it out. Okay, and now with our blending brush and dark denim, we're just going to give this a quick little frame in. You can also do this with Twilight. It's a very close color. And start at a corner and work your way down. You can also use your blending brush for this, but sometimes I'm too heavy-handing with the blenders. And this just goes quite nicely all the way around. Okay, so not too much, but an edge. And then what I like to do is take my Nocturne ink pad again. So I'm just going to take that, take the lid off, and I'm going to edge my card so I don't have white, like I don't have a white edge. I don't know if you can see that. So, holding your ink pad and your card, place and drag. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there's definitely an edge that's not white anymore. So, I'll clean this up. Okay, and I'm going to mount this, and today I'm just going to use an adhesive glue runner. You can use glue if you choose. And I use my grid to line up my cards. I don't have a ruler. I just eyeball it. So I should have a 1/2 inch all the way around. So I go up to my 1/2 inch line and in and 1/2 and in and 1/2 and lay it down and hope and pray that it works. Which sometimes it comes out crooked because that's me. So I've already pre-scored my paper that I'm using, my cardstock. I did trim it. This was an 8.5 by 11. I trimmed the 11 down to a 10 and cut at 7 and scored it with my adorable scoreboard. And I'm using the bone folder. So then you just line up your corners. And this is how I do it. I just line up my corners and then pull and then burnish. And you get a nice flat card. And this is where you can stamp your signature stamp. If you're going to decorate the inside of the card or add a sentiment, now is the time to do that as well. And you should always sign your cards. Any art that you make, you should sign, because it's yours. Even if you copy me and you're following along with my video, if you make a card, it's still yours. So sign it. Okay, so adhesive on card base. I might put a good amount on there because I don't want it to come off ever. So possibly more than I need. So this one I have a 1/8 inch border going right in between my grid lines and press it down. Okay, so there you have it. Pretty similar to the first one, slightly a little bit different. I did change my sizes of my borders because I thought that I would like it better with the larger black. If you decide that you like a smaller black matte, more white showing, then you can just change that. I always make 5x7, or not always, but I usually make 5x7 cards, and I downsize by 1/4 of an inch. So that gives you an 1/8 inch all the way around. This particular card I have a 1/4 inch. No, excuse me, I have a 1/2 inch all the way around, and on this one I have a 1/4 inch all the way around. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoy that. I hope that this gives some inspiration on how to make a forest scene using Echo and Drew. So thank you all very much, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining us. Also, don't forget to join our Facebook groups if you have not. Our Facebook groups, we have Bello's Designs Lounge for retailer for Lavinia stamps, and we have Bello's Designs a la carte lounge. Look for us there. Often ask what you guys would like to see, and it's a great time to be able to voice your opinions. Also, we like to see your makes. So if you follow along with any of our tutorials and you make something, even if you think that it does not look good, please share it with us. We're there to help, we're there to inspire, and we love to see what you guys are making. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.